Hello everyone, it's Hidej. We're going to be taking a look at another famous game, and this time I'm going to be showing you Gouda's game. 9th Dan Masataka Gouda currently. He's famous for his very cool attack every time, and this is one of his greatest game. You'll see a very cool, one of his coolest attack in this game. So let's see that. This took place on 12th of May 1997 in OE Title League. Playing black was Masataka Gouda, 6th Dan at the time, and white was Tadahisa Maruyama, currently 9th Dan but 7th Dan at the time. So now let's take a look at their game now. Black played pawn to 7f. Well, basically Gouda is a Yagura player, so in this game they go into genuine double Yagura strategy. So let's see it quickly, because it's just a Joseki with pawn 8d, 6 H, pawn 3d, 6f, 6b, pawn 5f, 5d, 4h, 4b. Now gold 5h from the right, gold 3b, gold 7h, king to 4a, king to 6i. Okay, gold to 5b, so white is going for a double Yagura. Now 7g, 3c, bishop goes back to 7i, goes back to 3a, and pawn to 3f, trying to attack on the third file. And pawn to 4d. Now black plays silver to 3g, and Joseki goes bishop to 6d. Now at this position, white has not pushed this pawn in 7th file, so black has an option of attacking the bishop right now, but he doesn't do that. Go to 6g, so he plays pawn to 7d. Bishop 6h, trying to make room for the king to go into castle. Go to 4c from the right, king 7i, 3a, 8h, and 2b. They castles. Silver 4f, so this is basically silver to 4f attack. Now white has an option of attacking like this, because the silver is pinned, but if he does that, silver goes back, and then black will try to attack on the 4th file. So white silver is not yet ready to hold, strengthen this vanguard pawn. So basically white does not push that pawn, so he now plays silver to 5c, so black plays knight to 3g, so he now covers this square, so he can't, white cannot push the pawn anymore. Now bishop 7c, just waiting defensively, so pawn to 2f, silver 2d, preventing being attacked by the knight in advance. So when the knight jumps to 2e, he doesn't have to run, so he can make counterattack, right? Okay, now pawn to 1f. Okay, white calmly pushes back to 1d. Now in this kind of strategy, black's piece formation, bishop here, silver, knight on 3g. Well, basically this is main Joseki should be rook to 3h strategy later on, and trying to attack the 3rd file, right? But in this game, well, especially in these years, they were studying this line. So this line was very popular. It was rook to 5h, suddenly going for the 5th file, because the silver is allowed to make a pawn exchange here, right? So black plays that strategy too, and white replies with pawn to ah. Being ready for the counter at any time, starting from pawn to 8f later on. Okay, so black goes for the center, pawn to 5e, pawn takes, silver takes. Now if white drops a pawn here, well, black has to go back, but this is very satisfied condition for black. Only he got a pawn here on the piece stand, so white doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to drop a pawn, so he played rook to 5b, preventing black from dropping this pawn to 5d. So now he played silver back to 4f. Now he's trying to make a vanguard pawn on the 5th file, the next move. Now white calmly moves the rook back to 5a. Well, this basically prevents a future silver chop drop on 4a, because the silver exchange will likely to happen on the 5th file, right? So now blacks make that pawn drop, but white immediately attacks on it. He doesn't want to allow black to secure the vanguard pawn there. So this is a critical point for black. Black can of course take it, but if he takes this pawn, it's one way to go on the fifth file. I think you can read all the moves later on. But here, before doing that, this is a professional move. He played pawn 1e, makes a pawn sacrifice on the edge. Well, you're gonna see the meaning of this pawn sack dozens of moves later, so please remember. So white has to take it, of course, and then he goes for the mandatory line on the fifth file. He goes takes a pawn on 5d. Okay, silver has to take another pawn drop. So black lost his precious pawn, but he can make the silver trade here. And well, taking with the rook doesn't look so good. Black can drop the rook first, so he plays silver to 5e. But yes, this bishop is now pinned, so silver dropped in 4f, so the bishop is dead actually. But he knew about that pawn drop, silver bishop trade. But black is in a pawn shortage, and this pawn is a strong foothold, right? Yeah. Now what should black do? He only has a bishop. White has two silvers, 2 pawns. I'm not sure which is better here. But then black he calmly played rook to 2h, just getting away from the fifth file and going back to the second file and give the turn to white. Now this is a very tough position for white. White has to decide what to do. He was given a turn. Has to decide what to do. One is pawn to 1f to punish the pawn sack earlier, but not sure if it will succeed. Also, pawn push is another great move too. But now he played the strongest attack, very straightforward attack, silver drop and 5f attack in the gold. Now, how do you think about this position? Which looks better to you? Well, from here, believe it or not, black will make his so fierce attack. So let's see that. Which move does he start it with? Well, he started with gold takes 5f, just taking it, undermining his own castle. White takes back, and this pawn promotion is coming. And what to do? Well, he now sacked his bishop for the silver on 2d. Okay, pawn takes, and then what? Yeah, now he goes for the second file, pawn to 2e, because now this pawn has moved forward. It's a very good pawn for the attack. Now white has to take. He doesn't have chance to do anything else, promote the pawn or attack this rook. He had to take. Now here's the meaning of the pawn sack. Black is in his pawn shortage, right? Lance takes 1e. Now he takes the pawn on 1e. Now it's in the p stand. He's going to. Let's see what he's going to do with it. Okay. White has an option of attacking the rook, harassing the rook at this position, but it's not so easy. So he could only just recapture the lance. But well, the pawn will go to 2d. A very powerful dangling pawn with the precious pawn. Now, what should black do? So what should white do? Well, then black is now going to take this pawn with the rook, so he had to drop the lance to prevent that. Now, this is the position where we saw Gouda's incredible attack. Now, why don't you just pause the video here and think for the next move and see if you can come up with the next very cool move. Well, the hint is it's a very cool drop, sacrifice drop. Okay, welcome back. Now let's say it was silver drop in 5e. Well, great. The rook went back to 5a dozens of moves earlier, so he's asking, why don't you come back to second file? Sorry, it's second rank. Well, it's attacking the rook, attacking the gold. If recapture with the gold, 2c is not protected. So yeah, he has to take it, of course. Well, exchanging the rook that doesn't look good. Black can even take this way, you know. So yeah, he just took it. And then what? Yes, of course, a bishop trip on the 4a. Now forking the rook and also aiming at 2c square. And the series here. Remember? So what happens if rook runs to 4b, which is pretty natural? Well, black can drop a 0 here. Well, let's say black runs. He can now clear off all the pieces. But rook check, and the problem for white is the pawn is on 2e. He cannot block it with a pawn. Unbelievable. And if he runs, it's you know, beautiful checkmate. It's not so beautiful, but you know, how all the pieces are used is beautiful. So he has to block it. Well, let's say he blocks it with this any piece. Now black can drop a gold, and he can take out the piece later on. It's a disaster for white. So he could not save the rook to 4b from here. So what he did was, well, he doesn't have time to take this rook anyway, so now he had to drop the silver to 1b, had to protect 2c square. Now, instead of just taking the rook, black dropped the silver there. Has to take, and it's very uncomfortable to take with the gold, so he had to take with the king, and then now he takes the rook. No, not yet. He sacked the rook first, taking the lance. Okay, now the problem for white is, you know, if he takes it, lance drop is a disaster for him, you know. So he couldn't recapture, and he had to drop a bishop here, covering 2d square, and you have to be careful. He's also attacking the king, so pretty cool move. But now he takes the pawn with the knight. White can now block it, but then he takes the rook on 5e. Okay, now, you know, white has a very strong attack. This silver drop, but you know, this knight is doing a pretty good job here, and he thought he's uncomfortable, so he just took it. But then black can make a check. Has to drop pawn, but takes the lance 1e. Okay, has to do something about it too, so he dropped the pawn and rook to 1i, covering that square. So this is a winning position for black already. Now he desperately goes for the king's head, but black calmly drops rook to 8b, covering the king's head. So pawn promotion, gold recaptures. You know, gold, silver, rook are covering that square. Sorry, covering this square. So it won't be a mate at all, even if he drops a silver anytime on 3i. Instead of taking the rook, black can get away, and it's no mate. So now he desperately drops a gold to 7a, but yeah, let's ignore it. Horse to 4c. You know, recapturing. It's a checkmate, of course. So he has to take the rook, but the gold is doing nothing here on 8b, and now he has the decisive attack. Silver dropping 1b, and you know, black king is not in a mate, and so seeing this move, in which if he takes it, it's almost Brinkway with this, you know, horse's attack. So he resigned at this position. So hope you enjoy this game. You know, I hope you enjoy this very cool attack by Gouda. And let's see that very cool move again, which was silver drop on 5b. A marvelous move. Well, it would be great if you can make this kind of move in a real game. So hope it's been helpful. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.